Right now, I am the happiest, calmest, most content that I have been in a really long time, which is so wild because over the past years, I have just constantly tried to add more into my life, things and routines and aesthetic to really get that happy, contented feeling. But what actually made the biggest difference in the end wasn't finding the right things to add, but taking away and simplifying. Simplifying and minimizing my home, my life, my schedule, all of it. So today I wanted to share with you the 15 things that I have quit to help simplify my life and make it so much better. Okay, a couple disclaimers. They are doing construction on the apartment next to us. So if you hear that, sorry. Second noise disclaimer. My little co-host Bruce is here, like always. So if you see my other videos, you already know this. If this is your first time, this is my co-host Bruce, my little corgi. He gets really needy as soon as I start trying to film videos. So if you hear grunting, barking, little paws scampering, pathetic little needy sounds asking to be pet, that's just my little co-host here. So sorry in advance. Okay. The first thing I quit was having too much stuff. And if you've seen my other videos or been around the channel a little bit, you know this is not a surprise, but decluttering. If you only do one thing on this list, do a good declutter. This probably doesn't need to be said, but the fewer things that you have to manage, the simpler your life will be. I think it's the minimal mom who calls it lowering your inventory. Think about all the things in your home as inventory that you have to manage and take care of and clean and organize and figure out, what to do with. So the less inventory that you have to deal with, the easier and simpler your life will be. Focusing on owning less rather than trying to organize more. And for me, removing physical clutter definitely correlates to removing mental clutter. So that has massively simplified my life. It's less to manage, less to clean, less to worry about, and more time and energy and mental power that I can spend on all other aspects of my life. Second thing that I've quit is trying to capture every single moment. And that can definitely be challenging, especially when part of your job is creating content and feeling the need to not miss capturing anything important that you want to share, always thinking, oh, this would be such a great moment. And just realizing that by constantly trying to capture everything and think of it as a video clip, I'm really missing the experience of actually being present and enjoying that moment, especially when I'm with other people. Third thing that I have quit is phone notifications. I don't know about you guys, but constantly having my phone light up and beep and ding and make all of the noises for every single thing that ever happens ever stresses me out. Just this constant feeling of notification and digital overload. So if you haven't read Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport, I know so many similar creators who do content like this talk about it a lot, so I'm sure most people have probably heard about it, but if you haven't, that book is amazing. It's actually on the list of books that I've read that have been very life-changing for me. I made a video about that a couple months ago, I think. I'll link that video below if you want to see it, but it's on that list. And in this book, he really talks about how our digital devices are engineered to be addictive and keep our attention as much as possible. And ultimately, it's really up to us to decide how we want to interact with our technology and how much power it has over our lives. And one of the biggest takeaways I got from that was really reducing the amount of notifications that I allowed to come through on my phone during the day. My full-time job is in real estate and marketing, and so my days are very communication heavy with clients, with colleagues. It's a lot of phone calls and texts and emails and messages. So what I've done to really simplify and pare down the amount of things that actually come through on my phone is that I've removed almost all the notifications for any extra apps, news, social media, things like that. The only things that come through, make a noise, and show up on my phone are texts, calls, and calendar reminders. That's it. I'm working on my laptop throughout the day. I'm regularly checking my emails and any other messages, things that I need to stay on top of. So I don't want those extra sounds notifications constantly popping up on my phone. Wait, hang on, be right back. Okay, quick break because I just realized I don't have my coffee and I definitely need that to finish this list. My coffee is actually also something I've simplified in my life. That honestly should be a bonus one added to this list, is a simple coffee routine. If you guys have seen my other videos, you know I like to keep things really easy, really simple when it comes to making coffee. For a long time, I've just been using instant coffee, but I officially have a new favorite, and that's Javy. It's this really cool coffee concentrate. All you have to do is add 1 to 2 teaspoons in your water or milk and add creamer, and that's it. I don't have any of the fancy coffee making equipment. I don't have espresso machines, Keurigs, coffee pots, anything like that, since I really like to keep things simple and minimal. And Javy coffee has been the perfect fit for me. They have a ton of different concentrates, all these different really yummy flavors that you can choose from, and they even have decaf. They also have a bunch of other stuff like protein coffee. You could have it as a daily coffee or mix it into bowls and smoothies, and even a dairy-free collagen creamer with MCTs, some really good low sugar syrups, because if you're like me and you like your coffee sweet, you need it. I wish I was cool enough to drink my coffee black. I'm not that cool, so I always have to add flavors and sweeteners and creamers and all that stuff. And all their products are gluten-free, dairy-free, as well as sustainably and ethically sourced. They also have a whole section on their site with all these awesome recipes for how you can make all these different iced or hot drinks. I've tried out some of them, they are so good. And they even have recipes for smoothies, protein bowls, overnight oats, baked goods, fun coffee themed cocktails and mocktails. So it's just really cool. It's a super versatile, simple coffee concentrate. I love how easy it is to use, and it's been my go-to for coffee every day. I do have a discount code if any of you guys are looking for a yummy and super simple and easy coffee solution like me. You'll get an extra 20% off your order, and you'll also get access to some fancy special limited release flavors that they have too. I'll put the code on the screen, or if you want, you can just click the link in the description box below to check it out. Okay, all right. The fourth thing that I quit was not prioritizing quality leisure time. And in that same book that we were just talking about, Digital Minimalism, it talks about how we have replaced this really high quality leisure life with whatever we quickly settle for as a quick dopamine fix, like scrolling on our phones, turning on Netflix, video games, and online shopping, and all those things in and of themselves aren't necessarily bad, but using those things to fill all of your extra time, really at the end of the day, for me at least, did not make me feel good. Instead of using my phone as kind of a hobby to fill all that extra time, I've really been trying to focus on finding good, intentional hobbies that I can do outside of my phone, like reading or taking walks, exploring the city, making really intentional time with friends or family, and just really enjoying it and prioritizing high quality leisure time and life outside of work, instead of just trying to find little times here and there that I can fit it in between all this work going on, if that makes sense. And something that's helped me make a little bit more time for that intentional leisure time kind of segues us into number 5, which is I've quit saying yes to everything. If you're like me, you've probably had times where you are constantly trying to do it all. You don't want to miss out on an opportunity, or you don't want to let someone down, so you just try to say yes to everything and you try to do it all. But something that I've really learned over the past year or two is something that Joshua Becker mentions in one of his books. I think it's Things That Matter is his book. It's also in my book recommendation video, also linked below. There's a lot of great books that a lot of these lessons have come out of. Anyways, in that book, he talks about if you are saying yes to something, that always means you're saying no to something else, for better or worse. So saying yes to this obligation means you're saying no to something else you could have said yes to, something else you could be doing with your time. So just weighing the pros and cons of what you're saying yes to and what that means you're saying no to. And I love being accomplished and being proactive and feeling like I got a lot of things done, but trying to say yes to everything and just be busy for busy's sake without truly thinking about what I'm saying no to, what I'm giving up, what I'm choosing not to do with that time or energy instead. Looking back, I said yes to a lot of things that I wish I hadn't. Now when opportunities come up, or people reach out for an invite, or a million other projects or ideas that I could be doing at work, I've learned to take a little bit of time before I give an answer. Is that really how I want to spend my time and energy? And if not, saying no and being confident in that no. We can't do it all. and life is too short, and I don't want to look back at the end of my life and wish I had said no to all of the extra unimportant things. And I want to work to create that time and space so that I can say yes to the things that really truly matter to me. Okay, sorry, I feel like that was kind of a long rant and tangent. Anyway, moving on to number 6, I've quit trying to make everyone happy. Because as I've learned, it's impossible. You cannot make everybody happy. I have tried to be a people pleaser most of my life, and if you guys are like me and you have that tendency, you know it's so exhausting. Like, it's a lot of time and energy trying to make everyone happy, and something I've learned is it's not my job to make everybody happy. I can control myself, my emotions, my reactions, but it is not my job to manage other people's responses and emotions and how they feel and how they interact to certain situations or things that I do. I'm responsible for myself, my life, my happiness. They're adults who are responsible for theirs. And it's easy to say right here in the moment when I don't have somebody mad at me. This is something that is still very much a work in progress for me. This is something I still have to work through every single day. This is probably gonna be one of those lifelong journey type things. The next thing that I've quit, this one might be kind of controversial. I have quit having a morning routine. I know a lot of people are probably gonna disagree and like freak out in the comments at me. And listen, if you have a morning routine that gives you structure and purpose and just makes your mornings so much better, like, hey, amazing, you do you. That was just not my experience with really structured morning routine. I just felt like over the years as I tried to create like the perfect morning routine, I was just in the cycle of finding something, it worked for a little bit, then it stopped working for me, and it stressed me out if I didn't hit all things I was supposed to do and didn't do it perfectly every day, and it ended up just not being sustainable. So then I would try a different morning routine, because everyone says you have to like wake up at 5 a.m. and knock out these 10 important things, and if you don't have a super productive, packed morning routine, like you're a failure and what are you doing with your life, you know? And that cycle just went on, and about 6 months ago, I just stopped doing it. I'm a morning person. I love mornings so much. Okay, let me clarify. I'm not like an early morning person. Like, I do not wake up at 5 a.m. I don't wake up at 6. I'm like a 7 to 8 a.m. girl, but I love my 7 to 8 a.m. morning. I just felt like these crazy packed structured morning routines just took the joy out of mornings for me, and I didn't enjoy them as much anymore. So instead, what I've been doing is just taking each morning as it comes, doing what I need to do that specific day, and enjoying a slower, more quiet morning. And I feel like that has allowed me to enjoy the time so much more, to be set up better for the day, and honestly to be more productive and excited for whatever else happens throughout that day, and to be in a way better mood. Having that slow, simple morning puts me in a way better mindset than waking up crazy early and like doing all of this stuff before I've even had breakfast. And there are definitely still, I don't want to call them routines, there are habits that I will do regularly in the morning. I still brush my teeth, do my morning skincare, take my dog on a walk. Like, there are still habits that I do each morning, but I don't always do them at the same time or in the same order, and it's not super strict and regimented. I just like being able to take each day as it comes, depending on how I'm feeling that day or that week or whatever I have going on in my life or on my schedule, and that has made a world of difference. I love my mornings so much more now, and I'm actually excited to get up and enjoy them. Another thing that I have quit is resisting the season of life that I'm in. One of the lessons that I have most appreciated learning over the past couple of years is recognizing the seasons that I'm in and learning how to accept and appreciate it. There's a lot of change and transition and a lot of unknowns right now, and I am a planner. I like to have a plan. I like to know what the plan is. I like to have it all set out and timelines and color coded and calendar reminders. And this season of life has just not being able to plan and know for sure what is next. And having gone through past seasons of life that are really difficult and had their own challenges, I've learned that trying to resist and force myself to keep the same priorities, the same schedule, the same mindset, it just doesn't work, and it just results in burnout and exhaustion and frustration and mini breakdowns a lot of the time. So life changes, and I'm learning that my priorities, my mindset, my schedule, my routines and things are gonna have to change with it. All right, next is just unnecessary or extra appointments. This kind of has helped me simplify my calendar, my time, my finances, just not paying for extras that a lot of the time I can just do myself at home. Doing my own nails at home, which I mean, honestly is pretty basic and simple. Like my nails are I just keep them plain. I don't like painting them. I just kind of like having them look natural. So it just means cutting my nails, honestly. And even doing things like tinting my brows and lashes. I've like tried that a couple times in the past. If I ever feel the need to do it, it's so easy and affordable to just do it yourself. I have not attempted to do my own highlights. I will not attempt that because I know I'm gonna mess it up. So we're just growing it out and trying like the natural color for a little bit. We'll see how that goes. The 10th thing I quit was staying in my sweatpants all day. This one was rough, but I did a video a little while ago where I did an experiment where I actually got dressed in my like nice real clothes every single day as soon as I got up. And that was so life-changing. Once I actually got into the habit, I really enjoyed it. And that's a habit that I'm still currently like trying to do. There are days, usually on the weekend, where there's a day or two, and yes, I do stay in sweatpants all day. But the majority of the days, every single week, even though I work from home, I get up, I get dressed. And that has just really helped simplify my life because it gets me in the right mindset of, hey, I'm awake, my day has started, I'm excited to go do things, and whatever comes up in my day, I feel ready for it. If there's a last minute Zoom call I have to jump on for work, walking my dog, last minute plans with friends or family to go out and do something, or when you go into the hallway to get your mail and you run into your neighbor, it really helps when you don't look like absolute crap because you're wearing the same sweatpants that you've worn for like 3 days straight without washing them and you haven't even done your hair and you're just like, ugh. You know, I've also quit wearing makeup every day. This one has been really difficult and challenging for me because skin has just been one of my biggest insecurities. And that's something I've been working on, both from trying to take care of, you know, my skin and taking care of my body and just trying to do everything I can to care for it and help it look its best, but also trying to change my mindset about it as well and trying to really embrace my face without makeup all the time. And I will definitely still wear makeup on some days when, you know, I feel like it, or if I'm going out or going on date night or filming videos like this. I don't always feel super comfortable having nothing on my face, and so I do still put on makeup from time to time. But right now I'm working on having the majority of the week be days that I don't wear makeup, just to give my skin a break, but also work on embracing it and loving it and being happy with the way that my skin looks with or without makeup on it. It also does save a lot of time and simplify things in the morning, so that's a bonus. The 12th thing that I have quit is having my phone with me during meal times, especially if I am with someone else at that meal. If I'm having dinner with my husband or out to meals with friends, family, loved ones, anything like that, I've really tried to be super intentional about turning my phone on silent. Like if it's with me at the table, turning it over so that I don't see if it lights up and I don't see if any notifications come through. Or even better, I'll like put it in my pocket or my purse or in another room if we're at home, just not having my phone near me so that I'm not looking at it, I'm not hearing it, and I can be fully present and focus on the person that I am enjoying that meal with, talk to them, hear about how they're doing. I love having dinner with my husband when he comes home at night from work and just talking about our days, what happened, catching up with one another. Get to just fully be present during that meal. And honestly, now there are times where I just want the meal to keep going and I don't even want to go back to my phone afterwards. So 10 out of 10 recommend it. The 13th thing that I have quit is having a scarcity mindset. This is something I have dealt with most of my life, and if I'm being honest, this is something I am still dealing with and working through. Just having this deep-seated fear of not having enough and always wanting way more, whether that's financially or with physical things, but particularly financially. I've just learned it's really a source of security for me. And I have really been trying to work through where that fear is coming from, why I'm having those feelings, working on and trying to shift my thinking and the way that I relate to finances to a mindset of abundance and gratitude and contentment. And shocker, I'm gonna bring up another book recommendation from that book video that I did, but if you haven't read Happy Money by Ken Honda, read it right now. Like that should be the next book that you read immediately. And kind of related to not having that scarcity mindset is quitting having a stockpile of extra stuff, not keeping just this surplus of an insane amount of extra toiletries or food or cleaning products, not buying 10 extras before I've even used up the one that I'm currently working on. It's simplified our finances, our shopping, our cabinets and cupboards, and just not having things stuffed into every single cabinet and drawer in our house. Feels really nice. And last on this list, but definitely not least, was I quit syncing with the wrong cycle. What I mean by that is, over the past year, I've really worked on healing my hormones, having better hormonal health, and just understanding my cycle and my hormones and everything that affects my life through that. But in the past 6 to 12 months of learning more about my hormonal health and my cycle, if you haven't read In the Flow, another book recommendation, read it. Oh my goodness, there's so much information about women's cycles and our health and our hormones that I was never taught growing up. But the female brain and body is wired not to run on this 24-hour cycle like the male brain and body, but on a 28-day cycle. And during this 28-day cycle, you're gonna have amazing periods of really intense creativity or intense motivation, energy, intense times of reflection and analyzing, and really learning that it's important to know and understand those different phases of my cycle, when they are, and how to adapt my life and what I'm doing in that time. Have a better understanding of my health and my body has made the biggest impact and simplified my life so much that I don't constantly feel like I'm fighting with my brain. And it's also helped me learn to have way more realistic, healthy expectations for myself, my body, my health, my brain, my hormones, all that fun stuff. Okay, so we made it through the end of the list. Those are the 15 things that I have quit to really help simplify and improve my life. And in a culture where we are told that the more we do, the more we'll get, the more we'll become, I think there is a lot of fulfillment that can be found in less. Doing less, having less, and wanting less. But now I'd love to know what things that you have quit in your life or stopped doing or been doing differently to really improve your life, to simplify, to be able to feel and be better in your life, you know? Definitely let me know in the comments. So if you've actually made it to this part in the video, thank you so much for being here. Definitely give the video a like, subscribe if you haven't. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. I'm really curious. Let me know what you think about morning routines. I feel like that's gonna be the most controversial one on this list, but maybe not. What others do you agree or not agree with? I'd love to hear from you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.